couple of days for a fact. For Vici, though, like I said, they have nothing to lose, right? These are a bunch of guys like, can we even make it to the playoff? Well, they made it. They've surprised a lot of people. They surprised me personally. I think Adam has done a lot of good work for this, and I think they've already overachieved. But now you're here. Go for it, you know?
This is either going to be North winning big time, or it's going to be a banger where it's going to be back and forth, explosive counter-strike, and I can't wait to see what the outcome will be.
Well, we are going to see it real soon. The question is, will the roar of the Lions be able to intimidate Vici, or will they play their game and barrel out of control as we've seen so many times before? Launders and Scrawny, they're ready and waiting, and it's time to get into the game.
Absolutely, gentlemen. Thank you so much for the breakdown. I'm hyped for this one. I'm hyped for today. We've got the third place team from each minor and 2 spots at the major in and of itself. You know, I was so distracted by the Americas minor as we were casting throughout that I kind of, you know, didn't really put stake in today. But I can now not wait to sink my teeth into this. Inferno as well. Interesting map, Vito. And it all boils down to just one best of one to begin it.
Yeah, I don't know how Inferno's going to go. From this tournament, we've seen them both have bad results on Inferno. North lost to both Vici, or lost to both Vitality and Ents. And Vici lost to Greyhound. And all 3 of those maps was, I think, a 16-8 or 16-7. So maybe this could be a lot closer than people anticipate. And just as him set up, you know, there's so much pressure on North just to be with the expectation that they're not only going to make the major, but that they're one day going to be better than a team like Astralis. All of that must be weighing down on them, whereas Vici have already punched well above their weight. So I am so hyped to see how this is going to go down. Even our next best of one between Envy and Windstrike, it feels like in a best of one situation, who knows who's going to win that. So there's a lot of parity in the top 4, and it makes sense that these are all the third place teams. Right. North are probably the favorites out of the 4, but still aren't going to be handed a free win.
You said it to me off the books, and I can't help but agree. I think that with the 2 best of ones deciding who gets that first spot at the major itself, it's literally open for any of the 4 competitors here today, folks. So for the final day, let's do this. It's IM Katowice 2019 Minors. It's Vici and North already here on Inferno, and it's aggression to get the game started. Kierby, he's going to fall down towards Banana. Zoking as well, catching the head of AZ. Only Gade to respond. It's kind of North using that bomb to push up into the apps, and that buys time for Cadian from behind. He's going to have the flank, and he just taps into Alman. How many times in a moment like that do you see him whiff a shot or two? Not him particular, but those sorts of plays. Nice for him to get that 3v3 instantly. Creates all these questions as to when he's coming back, where he's going. Did he have bomb? They didn't even see him.
That was a beautiful angle from Gade. So now they'll have information, and they know that the one was spotted at bottom mid. They don't know that it's a double pit setup, however, as we saw. No, Kaze, how is he going to deal with this? They, again, both have these really tight off angles. Zoking might be able to cut off Cadian at the pass, and we'll go ahead and spot him at the end of Halls. Could have been an easy duel for Cadian, but now their progress is set back a bit. Strange rotation out of the site. Kaze, can he go huge? No, Gate takes him down. And Zoking at least wins his duel, but it's 1v2 now. The bomb will finally get planted.
We still have that player deep inside of pit. That's Valda. Kevlar, full HP, and there you have it, folks. It's North with the first pistol. Cadian doing a good job of cutting down that first player, creating the question marks, but Vici, I have to say, didn't seem panicked in that 2 versus 3 situation, and had we seen the Apartments player maybe be able to pinch the bomb site with Kaze behind boxes, then it's a whole other world. You know, that pit player is not able to push the bomb site and plant until they deal with him, and if Cadian hadn't at least slowed it down, then maybe it's Vici with the win, but they're going to buy regardless. We've got a Mag 7 in the mix.
They went ahead and subverted the offense, and although it was a good confidence play from Vici, it was an even better play from Cadian to be so patient at the bottom of mid. We're now into the anti-eco or anti-force buy, and North are clearing out halls. Not sure if they're expectant of a buy. It's going to be less obvious since Vici are on the CT side that they pull this one off. But there is a 4-player stack on the A site, and that means a North Halls pop might not go as planned.
Eagle trying to hit that first one, offset the crosshair. Cadian flying around this bomb site at the moment. Even gets an assist with Gade, so those pistols do tumble. They fall, only Alman up on the rotation. That's the beauty of those apps blasts, when there's nobody actually on short to hold back the first player flying forward like that. You know, Cadian just kind of disrupted it without having to kill anybody, and then went ahead and killed them.
North looked to hit shots early on into this match. Alman will have his 5-7 and full utility belts. His probably too valuable to want to give up here. They'll not have a bye next round, so recycling this will be extremely favorable. North will win this round with a bomb down, 4 up, and move into round 3 with another free farm round. They're going to be happy to see that they killed a lot of players who had head armor and only lost a single player. They're probably going to upgrade into another SMG, I would imagine, or just get that 3rd AK, assuming it's going to be an easy round, and then just push Kirby and AZ into as many kills as possible. Vici, on the other hand, they did pick a good site to stack. It was the correct read, but the setup was exploited. Funnily enough, the flash didn't do anything to our man in pit, and it seemed like North weren't even aware that they had their own teammate coming out lane, so there was a chance for them to potentially lose that round. But everything fell into place, and it's just good to see North are hitting shots. I think that's just going to be the main difference with these two teams. We saw Valda on high confidence on Mirage, went 40 and 13, which is just not a once-in-a-lifetime performance, but maybe like a twice or 3 times in a lifetime performance.
Yeah. Maybe once in a major cycle performance.
Right. Another A stack as North creep right into it. It's a little bit different, though, as there's 2 players at lane. They'll be activated off of this 1 pistol.
Yeah. Substantial damage, though. That's 4 players, 4 North down. Freeman follows suit with another headshot, and he's got his paws on an AK.
Don't give this boy an AK.
Oh, he's going to be able to wrap around as well. Cadian does seem to be thinking about the possibility. They're going to notice that the gun has been picked up. It's disappeared into the night. It is Freeman with a 4K. Amin pinches those last boiler players. 2 survivors on it. It all begins with USBs.
Absolutely insane play from Freeman to pick up that AK to get 2 more kills, get Hall's control, do it so elegantly as well. I mean, and there was a great flash to set him up, so he had such a big advantage in this first fight. AZ came out for the trade, but it was no good. Cadian's mouse wheel might have bugged there, jumping up onto the halls, or maybe he was just trying to get over top of the balcony and got caught off. But either way, the positioning from Freeman was king. That's going to be huge for their confidence coming into this round. Not expecting to lose. Not expecting to win with just USPs. Double nade down banana is great. Kirby goes down immediately. AZ jogs for position. And he's caught up at the logs. I don't know if they're going to expect him here, but it looks like they're freely peeking. Almond didn't even bother upgrading past his MP5. Not scared of this team.
They're not going to opt to push past the top of banana either. Just hold off. Smoke in hand, plenty of utility still for Vici. There is some on the side of North as well, so maybe they bait out the counter utility before they make this hit. I'd say that because bomb hasn't been picked back up yet, but Valda is coming. Gonna buy their time using the boost during this window of opportunity, and yes, just like that, it's easy to catch Amin. Now, it all falls on Advent, tagged up earlier on as well. He's going to be able to pick 1 player up, flash high, and probably call for that reinforcement.
4 on 3, and CT spawn is wide open. They don't have a smoke to cross. That means the bomb is in a very difficult position. The Molly's going to be a cheap way to try to deny vision, but they're still going to have the opportunity to catch it. Valda is stuck out here and doesn't know if he's being flanked. Freeman is also locking down the A site, so the hasty rotation back is completely deniable.
AZC's shadow. That's going to call more players over. Now Valda could still find some timing. Zoking scoped in, but down he goes. Now that cover most certainly there. Advent, remember, low HP, hits the player in the back of the site, but can't win the duel right away. 3 frags for AZ, creating that space needed. You could see Valda contemplating the rotation back to the A site, but he didn't have the time to do it, didn't have the information, and yet maybe North still have this round. Molotov on Valda, low HP AZ, he sits back behind box, and this creates a space for Freeman to walk forward. He's playing this so smooth, sees the headshot, predicts it, and it's Freeman with both.
Oh my God.
Tied up straight out the gate.
Valda gets caught off because there is a blind spot at quad. He cannot hold construction safely, and I can't believe Freeman does it again. He goes for the 4 kills to the 1v2. You had to blame Kaze for giving that one up because he pushed in before the bomb was planted with the op and then got killed, allowing the bomb to cross, which should have never been possible. AZ, as we saw, capitalizing on that, and then it seemed like everything was just falling apart. Amin even fluffing a shot, but Freeman, dude, what a hero.
That's big. And you know what? An extra little bit of props to Advent, because he had 15 health when he lost his first teammate on Oranges, still gets the kill on the entry, and then before he dies, tags up AZ enough to be just swept away by a spray. Definitely helping out his teammates in those situations.
You can only sustain so many of those losses. Every single one that goes the way of Vici is going to count for so much more than one that goes the way of North, because they're going to be the ones you'd expect to pull off rounds like that, not lose rounds like that. Almond pressured in the CT spawn. He's going to go ahead and throw a nade at the incorrect time, but he gets the 1D at the price of, well, he gets 1D and gets 150 damage off his nade, so I'd call that value. Advent doesn't realize that Kirby had pushed over towards Oranges, and the bomb will be planted out in the middle of the site with no control of construction. They weren't expecting that fast of a rotate, but they could have planted safely at Grill.
Now they ask themselves, how do we get back in control of that bomb? Obviously prying eyes on it, so patience. They're just gonna sit and hope that heads present themselves to the Deagles. Cadian's got the cover. Soaking just on the other side, blasted away. Now the top ropes is where Freeman stands, and damage both ways by Cadian. Valiant effort, nice attempt, but it's Vici Gaming's round.
You have to wonder what the bomb was being, why the bomb was being planted back fountain when they had a smoke on CT spawn. So technically they could have planted anywhere front site, even Oranges, and been safe from construction. And with CT smoke, they know that that was covered. But look at that, he just goes down and there's nobody here to fight back. Cadian was in the pit, so even if they thought there was a big flank through Banana, at least it was covered. Maybe just like a big fundamental error there. I don't know how else to characterize that. Kirby's going to be hurt inside of this Molotov. We'll try to push through, and Almond right-clicks a grenade at his feet. And he goes down like a bowling pin. AZ hurting at the lower ramp, and damn, they go ahead and catch him, trying to catch them.
Yo, I mean, when we came into this game, Blair was talking about how we saw sometimes this just sheer aggression from Vici on Inferno, how they can actually take control of maps, and we think to ourselves, maybe that's just in a domestic type environment, but Vici Gaming have been really hyped on hitting that banana early, using those grenades fantastically so far. It's certainly enabled the spray downs, which has collected 2 kills here.
I think a big reason why the agency has got so much attention is because when they go to international competition, they still have no inhibitions when it comes to that aggression. They're always pushing. They're always doing something. It's just that when it goes over the limit, or when they do it versus each other, when they could be a bit more patient, is when we're often critical. But in this situation, it feels like North are just mostly flubbing on their setups, as opposed to Vici, who are basically playing standard. Good Inferno, as you're saying, pushing up when they need to. Another situation, a player coming through with smoke. It is a 3v5 situation, so it is more warranted than if it was all numbers for the Ts and CTs.
Cadian spotted, caught, drops bomb into the feet of the Opper. Valda, though. It's Valda. And he's got himself 2 already. Amen. Lower health, not as low as Valda. 2 HP, 2 enemies to take in 10 seconds to do so. I think not. That right there is another round for Vici. Had to see some kind of heroic play come out of the 3 remaining members of North, seeing as they did go down to a 3v5 just based on banana control.
North being adamant about taking banana shows us how important it is to them, and Vici showing us how the round can begin and end with those kills. Going ahead and snagging both early in the round, leaving a key player near the end to try to come back into it in clutch, but it's too late at that point. Not enough damage was done by Valda's teammates. Good nade to threaten the position of Zoking. Doesn't exactly sit on it, but it is North on just pistols. They're going to half buy into this round, move towards halls. Vici have a relatively passive setup, but they're probably expectant of this exact buy. They know that North are capable of a Halls pop. They were open to it in the past, but it was an anti-eco that time. The tables have turned.
Yet the Molotov still dropped. Frag misses the mark. Got grenades back the other way. This is North's execution. It's all in other than AZ. Freeman falls. Now that's an M4 given over. That's a big M4 for Valda. Head armor on top of it. but they don't know Zoking is here. So he's going to stay tucked away. Gate plays around the corner, loses his face for it. There's the Opper dropping bomb, but still Vault is in pin. I mean, we knew that was the problem the moment he picked up his gun. It's the biggest issue, but there are still other variables here for Vici to figure out. Where has North got off to? You know that M4 is in the pit. You know the bomb is planted. There's a third player yet to be found, and that's Cadian inside of the apps. He waits very patiently back, actually next to balcony. So as he walks back downwards, he's given 2 backs, but oh, Advent turns around, reads him, and Kierby can't do anything. He gets the dink off Almond, but it's 3 up for Vici on a retake. No further casualties is great for them.
His internal timing alarm just went off at that moment, and he decided to turn around. It might have been to dodge a flash that went towards pit, and it could have been unfortunate timing for Cadian, but ultimately it comes down to the 2 players in sight to make that more competitive. With the amount of utility Vici had, the last player being in halls wouldn't have been that big of a threat, and they couldn't deliver. Now, they did just have pistols, so this is an ultra successful round, getting the bomb plant, getting the kills that they did. But ultimately, it's rounds that are the biggest problem. Again, a best of 1 to decide who goes on to the winner's bracket and who has the easiest route to the major in this 3rd place decider tournament. Now we're into round 8. North is going to call attack timeout, the first of the half. They've got a full buyout. It's not got any ops. We've seen them be quite a pest on Banana, but Vici don't seem scared of them there. They've in fact come out ahead in duels very often. I think ultimately, if there is a fight there, it's going to be the T's who will want it eventually, so you can anticipate that they'll try it again. They've got enough nades to go for it. They've got HEs to cause a disturbance or do some early damage to make the trades a bit easier at the top of Banana. 3 CTs coming out, and all the T's running headfirst into this. Molly's on either side, and they've got to be worried. 2 of them will turn tail and run. Cadian does take a spot of damage. And Molotov isn't good quite yet. They do their due diligence to make sure that Vici don't get overly aggressive, which is a good sign for North. They also retain logs control, and eventually we'll find out that car is clear. Is he more concerned with some big flank than anything else? Arch smoke comes out, and North get top bracket control. A lot of map control gain for them. Vici Gaming are being quite liberal with their grenades, but they go ahead and reclaim top bracket. Rotate might come out to be here. Should make this a difficult round for North. But at the moment, it's still a 2-3. Zoking, he's about to peek mid. And look at that, he's trailing his way down for the flank.
Yeah, they are going to go
ahead. This is the aggression we look for.
At the very least, Vici should be prepared on this B bomb site. Advent playing counter flash. Kaze, he's nailed 3 players to the cross, and 2 of which through and through. Advent spray nearly nails Gate as well, but no, he is still up. 1 versus 5. We need a replay on that Opper because he